Isang nakakagulat na balita ang kumakalat ngayon sa social media matapos lumabas ang isang video na umano'y nagpapakita kina dating Senate President Tito Soto at First Lady Liza Marcos na magkasama sa isang pribadong okasyon. Ayon sa mga netizens na unang nakakita sa video, tila masyadong magkakilala at komportable ang dalawa sa isa't isa, dahilan para magdulot ito ng matinding usapan at espekulasyon sa publiko. Sa loob lamang ng ilang oras, umabot sa libu-libong shares at comments ang naturang video na naging trending topic sa iba't ibang online platforms. Habang patuloy na lumalawak ang issue, ilang taga-suporta ng dalawa ang humihiling na huwag agad husgahan ang sitwasyon nang walang malinaw na konteksto. May ilan ding nagsasabing maaring edited o peke ang video, kaya nananawagan sila na hintayin muna ang opisyal na pahayag mula sa panig ni Soto at Marcos. Sa kabila nito, hindi pa rin may kakaila na naging matunog ang pangalan ng dalawa sa mga usapan sa politika at showbiz, lalo na't parehong kilala sa kanilang impluensya at personalidad sa publiko. Samantala, nananatiling tahimik ang kampo ni Soto at First Lady Liza Marcos hinggil sa issue. Wala pang opisyal na kumpirmasyon o pagtanggi mula sa kanilang panig, ngunit inaasahan ng publiko na maglalabas sila ng pahayag sa mga susunod na araw upang linawin ang mga kumakalat na balita. Habang naghihintay ng katotohanan, patuloy pa ring hati ang opinyon ng sambayanan. May naniniwala, may nag-aalinlangan, at may nananawagan ng respeto sa pribadong buhay ng mga nasasangkot.
Ako si Magalong daw po di umano nasa Davao City nag-iimbestiga ng mga road slow protection ng Davao City, no? Kaya yung Magalong ninyo nag-iimbestiga sa Davao, wala siya doon sa Ilocos Norte nag-iimbestiga sa Davao talaga, ha? Yo, pinagmamalagin yung Magalong, papanoorin natin, ha? Yan, yan, di ba? Sabi ko sa inyo, may may pagkagago din tong Magalong na to, eh. Pasintabi po, pasensya na, ba't nasa Davao siya nag-iimbestiga? Bakit hindi doon sa Ilocos Norte? Ayan, diba? Ako wala akong tiwala dito sa Magalong na to, eh. Hindi naman si Raulo yan, hindi naman gago. May nasa tamang pag-iisip naman yan. Bakit nasa Davao City nag-iimbestiga? Nandun yung problema sa Ilocos Norte, diba? Ayan, paakit ng nagdan. Akin na agad niya si Magalong nyo. Yan, laklakin nyo si Magalong nyo. Ayusin mo, Magalong. Hawak, Magalong, hawak. Hawak ang kamay, Magalong. Diba? Diba? Diba may vlogger tong si Magalong yung attorney? Wala na yata nanonood ngayon dun, eh. Ayan po. Diba nag-iimbestiga po sila ng slow protection, diba? Meron bang dyan, ghost project? Meron bang katiwalian sa flood control? Bakit yung slow protection ang iniimbestiga ni Magalong ngayon? Hindi na flood control, yung slow protection na, Diba? Diba mga ka-reaction nakakapagtaka, yan po. Bakit nasa Davao City si Magalonglong? Mga reaction, di ba kayo nagtataka kay Magalonglong? Pag ganon, side A, side B, side A, side B. Magre-resign tapos tutulong, magre-resign tapos tutulong. Takbo ka na lang kasi ng pagka-senador, Magalong, huwag ka na magpakahirap. Ginagago mo lang ang sarili mo, Magalonglong, eh. Ako wala akong tiwala dito kay Magalonglong. Wala akong tiwala, eh. Tingnan mo pag gano'n siya, Susuportahan ko na sana, eh. Kaya lang, nagpakagago na naman si Magalonglong, eh.
Sinong umaahon tayo?
Ayan mga kareaksyon ng mga baboy, kawawa naman. Pero bago natin ituloy ang ating napakaganda reaction video, reaction. Napakaganda po ng mga pag-uusapan natin ng mga reaction, ha. Mantagin po ninyo mga kareaksyon na nangyari sa Cebu, no? Mga kareaksyon, mapapaiyak ka na lang pag nakikita mo yung mga kababayan mo na hanap buhay nila, pangkabuhayan nila, pinaghirapan nilang bahay, pinaghirapan nilang sasakyan, ay lubog po sa baha mga kareaksyon. Ayan mga baboy po yan mga ka-reaction,
Sila, mga ngiti nila habang nakalubog ka pa.
Diba, hindi ka ba anong tawag doon? Hindi ka ba maano yung damdamin mo? Diba?
Saan napuntang sa
Ano mga ka-reaction talaga nakakaawa po. Yung feeds, nasira. Yung mga baboy nagkamatayan. Mga tao, mga ka-reaction. Kulang-kulang 100 na daw po ang namamatay at marami pang nawawala. Ayan.
hirapan kong mga
At yung mga magagandang sasakyan nila, inanod po sa ilog. Naku, napakahirap po.
Now, in your Facebook page,
Ito po si si gobernadora na dumikit kay BBM. O, minalas ka tuloy, dumikit ka kasi kay Dapat kasi wag kang didikit kay BBM eh. Binigyan daw siya ng posisyon ni BBM. Diba? Ito, hindi ko naman sinasabing nakarma yung taga Cebu ha. Kasi nakakaawa po, hindi po nakarma ang taga Cebu. Ang pinapakita lang dito nang nasa itaas, hinahanap natin yung mga flood control sa Cebu. Wala. Oh, di ba? Talagang itong Bongbong Marcos na ito, pinanganak po siyang malas. Pinanganak po siyang malas. Bad luck. Very, very bad luck. Palitan nyo na lang po ng B yung V. Bad luck talaga itong si Bongbong Marcos. Malas sa Pilipinas, malas ka. Tingnan mo nangyayari sa Pilipinas yung Bongbong Marcos. Bumaba ka na sa posisyon mo. Napakamalas mong presidente. Magnanakaw na, malas pa.
You posted 26 billion pesos of flood control funds for Cebu. Yet we are flooded to the max. So this got over close to 23,000 shares. Very rabid comments, of course, of angry citizens. What did you mean by this? Ipaliwanag nyo bakit po ninyo ito pinost?
You know, you began to ask the question kung bakit grabe yung flash floods dito when we have 26.600 billion for flood control projects. So yun lang naman sa akin. I begin to ask question, bakit ganun? 26.6 plus 600 plus billion yung ano dito, flood control funds. And yet ito yung nangyayari sa amin.
Oo.
I
Matanong
think,
ko lang,
Karen, yung Tino is worse than Odette.
in terms of rainfall,
Yes, in terms of rainfall. Kasi yung Odette, malakas yung hangin doon. Itong
Oo.
Tino, grabe, yung flooding talaga.
okay. So, matanong ko po sa inyo, ma'am, nung nanalo po kayo na governor, it's already been, I would say, nakaisang taon na po kayo, ma'am?
Over 100 days, Karen.
100 days pa lang. Okay.
Over 100 days.
Have you have you or your team ever seen the flood control projects in Cebu province? Kasi tama
Yes.
kayo, ang laki ng pondo, 26 billion. Nakita niyo po ba ang kalidad at ang mga flood control projects sa Cebu province?
Yes, Karen. Yeah, nakita namin and we submitted already reports regarding this one.
Okay.
But
Can
yes.
you share the reports? Anong natuklasan po ninyo, ma'am?
I think it's for ICI to divulge the information that we have submitted.
Oo.
But definitely, yeah.
No, tuloy niyo, ma'am.
But definitely, we have seen, projects here in the province na I should say mga ghost projects.
So may ghost flood control projects in Cebu province.
Yes, Karen.
Oo. And who were the contractors? Ito ba ang Diskaya, Sunwest, Hightone? Sino po?
It's not for me to say for now, Karen. No, we have submitted the reports already. But what I can say is we have seen substandard projects as well. At
Sa
saka may mga bulk water projects na inamit yung mga license to some contractors na hindi naman sila yung gumawa.
Okay.
Yun lang masabi ko for now, Karen.
Oo, pero sa pag-iimbestiga po ninyo sa sarili po ninyong probinsya, meron man lang bang matinong flood control project or most of it ay talaga pong ghost, substandard at yung bulk water ay problemado?
Substandard, Karen.
So all of the flood control projects are either ghost or substandard in Cebu province?
Yes, Karen.
Wow. Okay. At ma'am, ilan po yun, if you don't mind without giving details? Ilan po ang naimbestigahan po ng team ninyo?
We've submitted the report, Karen, and we'll just allow the investigative body to reveal the
Okay.
details.
All right.
you.
Okay. So I will leave you on that. But do you believe that it was the past administration who is
I-
responsible?
Definitely, Karen. Because I'm just here in just an over 100 days. And by the time I got here, that's when the flood control, the president announced it during his SONA. Remember, that was around July when he was the one who talked about the flood control projects.
So,
So-
has it been many years that the past administration, I mean, or that the province has been receiving flood control funding?
I
Ilang
suppose-
taon na po? Alam niyo po ba ilang taon na? Panahon pa po ba ni Duterte? Ganun po ba hanggang ngayon?
I think 2019. 2019.
2019.
Yeah, 2019, yes.
So, I mean, nung 2016, it was also your predecessor, Governor Gwen Garcia, who was sitting in that chair. Were there flood control projects being built in Cebu then?
Well, it's not for me to say, but what I can tell you is 2019 nagsimula.
Okay. All right.
Ang flood
Ang,
control.
ano po ba? 2019 nagsimula ang alleged corruption? Ganun po ba sa flood control?
I suppose.
All right. Okay. Now, I'll move on, I think. Any announcements, Governor? I think this is a good time for if you want to call on to the government, the private sector, ibahagi nyo na po lahat ng pangangailangan po ninyo ngayon, ma'am.
Yes, I have already relayed to the national government anong kailangan namin dito sa Cebu. And I want to appeal also to the public na if there are any donations for Cebu, right now we are open for it. And most especially, I want to tell the Cebuanos that do not lose hope. As you know, the meaning of hope. You know, hold on, pain's end. No, let's not lose hope. Everything happens for a reason, and you never know what tomorrow may bring. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Matanong ko lang po, ma'am, for donations, does the province prefer cash? Or if people donate in kind, what do the evacuees, what does the province need?
Logistically, it's better pag cash, Karen, no? So, dito na lang namin ma-purchase kung anong kailangan. And also, what the province really need right now is yung mga, namin yung infrastructure, you know, job creation. Kasi talaga tamaan yung namin dito, ekonomiya namin dito ngayon.
All right. Okay. Yes. On that note, I want to thank you for joining me today, Cebu Governor.
So tuloy po natin ang pakikinig dito sa abogado ito mga kareaksyon.
But is that also Mr. Ko's fear when he returns to the Philippines?
He has a general fear of being shot. Whether
Bakit ka matatakot kung, ito po yung abogado ni Saldico bakit ka natatakot kung wala ka naman palang ginawang kasalanan? Bakit matatakot si Saldico kung wala namang ginawang kasalanan? Hoy, abogado!
by a vigilante or by a political enemy.
O baka ang pumatay sa kanya yung mga kasama niya, ganun. Yung mga kasama niya mga nagnakaw kasi didiin niya si Bongbong Marcos. Yun ba ang kinatatakot niya? Mapaslang, yung mga kalaban niya ayaw siyang paslangin Kasi gusto nilang malaman nasaan yung pera at sino yung pinaka-mastermind. Hindi ako naniniwalang si Saldico ang pinaka-mastermind dito mga kareaksyon. Baka ako yung pinaka-mastermind
He doesn't know. I can't answer that with precision.
No?
So is it safe to say that in the next few months until next year, we won't see him in the Philippines?
Wala, hindi siya uuwi. Alam mo, natatakot si Saldico, hindi naman sa mga kalaban niya Natatakot siya dun sa mga kasama niya kasi kilala niya yung mga kasama niyang nagnakaw.
We'll see him as soon as the fear of violence against him abates. So I don't know. Might be next week, might be January, I don't know.
Okay, so thank you.
Surely.
Hello sir, good morning po. Ben Pulta po sa Philippine News Agency.
Hi Ben.
Ka-clarify ko lang sir yung the SALN is generally available, that's what you're saying. Pero only if you can answer, how much did the assets did Mr. Cod declare the first time he was a lawmaker?
Oh, I can answer that. 4.1 billion in 2019. Let me point out, ito na naman yung
Ang dami niyang pera yun, 4.1 billion. Kung baka ano lang yun, baka tinga lang yun.
skewed narrative. I did some research, and who's the richest senator you know? Alex. Mark Villar declared an a net worth of 1.4 billion. His mother, Cynthia, declared in 2020 a net worth of 3.8 billion. Next is Manny Pacquiao, 3.1 billion. Or the other way around, one or the other. So, in 2020, when Representative Ko joined Congress in 2019, 1 year earlier, he was already richer by Cynthia than Cynthia Villar or Manny Pacquiao. Just to keep it in context. What's your question?
Sir, yeah, thank you for that, sir. Pero did it grow? Follow-up lang doon sa question. Did the assets grow? Would you know if at all?
There was movement.
Nako?
It was relatively flat, the movement. But I remember it.
Relatively flat daw po yung movement. Ibig sabihin walang movement. Ito po yung mga abogado, mga kareaksyon talaga ako, mga abogado ha. Ewan ko mga kareaksyon na baka 2 to 3% lang ang makakarating na langit. Kahit alam mo ang kriminal lang yung pinagtatanggol dahil bayad ka nga, ipagtatanggol mo yan. Alam mo ang batas, alam mo ang butas.
It did grow, but even that is not an indication of criminality, just so you know, Alex. Kasi naka-file naman ng ITR eh. And there was a very refreshing take on this. I don't remember who said it. I think it might have been Ronald Llamas. Kung magnanakaw ka, loko-loko ka ba't idedeklara mo sa salin mo yung ninakaw mo? Naturalmente, hindi, di ba?
Sir, if ewan ko kung pwede, sir, if you can go to yung legal theory,
Sure.
But the acts attributed to Ko, maliban dun sa accusation ni Gutesa that money was actually delivered to his house by so-and-so, yung acts of passing a law to encourage projects, and that these projects supposedly some of them were not implemented at all, would that, in your say, form part of your legal theory? Would that make him liable? I mean, it's like paying and someone else did not deliver, right?
I assume you're talking about yung unang pumutik ito, yung mga ghost projects sa Bulacan. Yung preliminary research namin is that yung mga ghost projects na yon, part of the NEP yon, yung National Expenditure Program. So hindi yun insertion. Easy? So saan ba galing ang NEP? Hindi ba galing sa executive yan?
Sir, but the proponents apparently had a part in. I mean, Mr. Ko apparently had a part in the actions of the proponents.
No. That's what I'm saying. Yung NEP is prepared by the DBM in consultation with the other executive offices. Sinasubmit yan sa appropriations. Hindi nakialam doon si Representative Ko as far as I know. Kasi NEP nga eh. Tapos noon, from what I know, from what I gather, meron mga requests na separate yung other executives, other government offices. Other government offices, yun ang sinasabi na insertion. But ang technical term is congressional initiative or something like that. Ayan pa eh, we keep saying insertion kasi it's a very colored term, insertion, parang masama ang dating. But then, everyone is saying, Senator,
Magandang tanghali po sa ating lahat. Welcome to the witnessing of another referral by the ICI to the Office of the Ombudsman. We are joined here by the Ombudsman, Jesus Crispin Remulla, from the ICI, Justice Andy Reyes and former Secretary Rogelio Singson, and from the DOJ, Undersecretary Jesse Andres. And so today, as they receive the papers from the Office of the Ombudsman, we would like to hear a few words to describe the referral that was given today by Justice Andy Reyes, to be followed by some words by our Ombudsman, Jesus Crispin Remulla.
Good morning to all of you, good afternoon to all of you. Today, we'll be submitting our interim report and recommendation to the Office of the Ombudsman on the alleged involvement of several DPWH officials and employees in obtaining bribes of unwarranted monetary benefits from flood control projects. We recommend the filing of criminal and administrative charges against the following: former Secretary Manuel Bonoan of the DPWH, former USEC Ms. Maria Catalina Cabral, USEC for Planning and Public-Private Partnership, and former DPWH Secretary Mr. Roberto Bernardo, Undersecretary, as well as Mr. Henry C. Alcantara, District Engineer, Mr. Bryce Erickson D. Hernandez, Assistant District Engineer, Mr. Ernesto C. Galang, Chief Planning and Design, DPWH Bulacan 1st District. Number 4, JPD Mendoza, position Chief Construction Section. Number 5, John Michael E. Ramos, position Project Engineer. Number 6, Ms. Irene D.C. Ontinco, position Engineer 1. Mr. Joshua Blitz S. Rojas, position Engineer 1. Mr. Bernardo P. Villaferte, position Engineer 1. And Mr. Ermir S. Villanueva, the owner of Top Notch Construction. I'd like to introduce to you our two detailed lawyers from the OSG, Attorney Richard Garbel Filasol and Attorney Ryan Patrick Tumagos. They are our new volunteers and detailed from the OSG. At this point, may I just say that our budget process is going on smoothly and it should be approved in the regular course of government business. We look forward to hiring more lawyers and more investigators. We expect a tremendous increase in our work efficiency and output. We feel aggrieved in what has been committed against the monies of the Filipino people. We condemn the white-collar criminality. We condemn the ninja style of manipulating the budget so as to please a few greedy few. We thank you for your message of support. We thank you for your patience. We will relentlessly continue the battle against corruption. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat.
Ang involved dito ng mga law, Section 3, Republic Act 3019 or Anti-Graphic Corrupt Practices Act, Article 217 of the Revised Penal Code, malversation of public funds or property, Article 171 and 172 of the Revised Penal Code, falsification of documents, whether by public officials or private individuals. Presidential Decree 1759 penalizes contractors who violate any material provisions of contracts involving public works, projects of the government, and public officials who allow such violations. Republic Act 9184, or Government Procurement Reform Act, and the Republic Act 6713, or Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. So yun po yung mga crimes involved in these cases that were, these referrals that were given to us today. So, okay?
Question?
Yes, yes.
Sir, ano na po yung magiging proseso po nito? Kasi I understand, Justice, sinabi niyo po kanina na this will be for evaluation. You're just recommending this to the Ombudsman. Ano po, sir, yung magiging action po ng Ombudsman?
We will go into fact-finding immediately because these are referrals and they may need more documents to be able to for us to be able to file cases for preliminary investigation, because you have to inform the accused of their rights, and you have to have the proper allegations drawn in to the mix. So it will undergo PI later on, but we will have fact-finding first to be able to complete whatever may be needed to make sure that we have the cases worth filing in court.
Justice, okay lang po ba, sir? Bakit po tayo, sir, nag-recommend ngayon for evaluation and investigation? Unlike po yung nauna po na diretso na po tayo sa PI sana.
Most of our language is the same for further fact finding or for further evaluation. It's just a matter of semantics, I think. Yeah. That's all.
Justice, pang ilan na po ito na pinahid po ng ICI dito sa Office of the Ombudsman? Simula po nung mag-umpisa po yung trabaho po ng ICI.
I think we have 3 referrals. Yes. Three occasions of referrals. Yes. But we will be filing more and more